A kiss that is never tasted, is forever and ever wasted, said by Billie Holiday. Love is like a virus. It can happen to anybody at any time, said by Maya Angelou. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow, said by William Shakespeare. I love a man with a great sense of humor and who is intelligent, a man who has a great smile. He has to make me laugh. I like a man who is very ambitious and driven and who has a good heart and makes me feel safe. I like a man who is very strong and independent and confident, that is very sexy, but at the same time, he's very kind to people, said by Nicole Scherzinger. There's only two people in your life you should lie to, the police and your girlfriend, said by Jack Nicholson. I don't have a girlfriend. But I do know a woman who'd be mad at me for saying that, said by Mitch Hedberg. In my dreams, I could be a princess, and that's what I was. Like most little girls, I believed nothing less than a prince could make my dreams come true, said by Loretta Young. Real magic in relationships means an absence of judgment of others, said by Wayne Dyer. Never let a fool kiss you, or a kiss fool you, said by Joey Adams. You can't keep changing men, so you settle for changing your lipstick. Said by Heather Locklear. An important part of dating is communicating. We communicate by sharing our thoughts, ideas, and feelings. We enjoy being with someone when we have an easy time communicating or when we have a lot to talk about, said by John Bythewoy. If I'm with a man, is that going to prevent me from achieving my goal? What sacrifices will I have to make in terms of being myself, if I'm with a man? Something that young women find out really quickly is that when you start dating, all of a sudden you're supposed to have a role. You're not allowed to just be yourself, said by Candace Bushnell. Save a boyfriend for a rainy day, and another, in case it doesn't rain, said by Mae West. I don't have a type. But one thing I can say from my dating experience is that a physical attraction will only take you so far. So you definitely have to have a strong intellectual connection as well, said by Jesse Metcalf. If there hadn't been women, we'd still be squatting in a cave eating raw meat, because we made civilization in order to impress our girlfriends, said by Orson Welles. Our nation is built upon a history of immigration, dating back to our first pioneers, the Pilgrims. For more than 3 centuries, we have welcomed generations of immigrants to our melting pot of hyphenated America: British Americans, Italian Americans, Irish Americans, Jewish Americans, Mexican Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans, said by Ami Bera. Whenever you have an ex, and they're like, I hope we can still be friends, and you weren't friends before you started dating. Then what do you go back to, really? Said by Ed Sheeran. I just thank God my husband and I found each other before the advent of social media. I can't imagine dating someone and seeing what they're doing on their Facebook page. And people breaking up with each other over texts now? We had to break up with each other face to face back then, said by Jen Lancaster. When I first started dating my husband, I had this weird fascination with the circus and clowns and old carnival things and sideshow freaks and all that. About a month after we started dating, he bought me this amazing black and white photo book on the circus in the 1930s, and I started sobbing, said by Christina Hendricks. When it comes to dating, I'm straightforward and traditional with a twist, said by Luke Pascalino. Kissing someone is pretty intimate, actually very intimate, and your heart always kind of skips a beat before you do that, said by Keanu Reeves. Dating is different when you get older. You're not as trusting, or as eager to get back out there and expose yourself to someone. Said by Tony Braxton. I don't date my girlfriend because she's a model. I date her because I love her, said by Adam Levine. Women are like cars. We all want a Ferrari, sometimes want a pickup truck, and end up with a station wagon, said by Tim Allen. I dated a lot, but I never really had anyone who was worthy of an anniversary. And most girlfriends never made it to a year, anyway, said by Whale. I heard on public radio recently, there's a thing called weed dating. Singles get together in a garden and weed, and then they take turns, they keep matching up with other people. 2 people will weed down one row and switch over with 2 other people. It's in Vermont. I don't think I'd be very good at weed dating, said by Roy Blunt, Jr. My boyfriend calls me princess, but I think of myself more along the lines of monkey and retard, said by Alicia Silverstone. Relationships in general make people a bit nervous. It's about trust. Do I trust you enough to go there? Said by Neil Laboute. I have an urge to communicate. I think I'm a change from what it would be like dating a normal guy who doesn't talk too much, said by Drake. Humans have continued to evolve quite a lot over the past 10,000 years, and certainly over 100,000. Sure, our biology affects our behavior. But it's unlikely that humans' early evolution is deeply relevant to contemporary psychological questions about dating or the willpower to complete a dissertation, said by Annalie Newitz. It is an extra dividend when you like the girl you've fallen in love with, said by Clark Gable. When you really don't like a guy, they're all over you, and as soon as you act like you like them, they're no longer interested, said by Beyonce Knowles. I've never been Romeo who meets a girl and falls for her immediately. It's been a much slower process for me each time I've gone into a relationship, said by Leonardo DiCaprio. Choose a wife rather by your ear than your, said by Thomas Fuller.